you can't help them. It pains me. It pains me to say it. It pained me to accept it. But when it comes to abusive men, it's you, there's nothing we can do. There is absolutely nothing we can do. It's down to them as an individual to make that choice to want to change. So let's just be clear. If you plead with them, if you beg them, if you almost force them to change, you're not going to receive any change, because at the end of the day, they are the ones that are in control. They've always been the ones that have been in control, and that's why they've been abusive. And you're giving the ultimate control over to them. So that is not going to work. It's never worked, and it's not going to work in the future. So in order for an abusive man to change, and let's just be honest, the statistics are very, very small in terms of those that do change. So the first step is they have to be willing to change. They have to accept responsibility for what they've done fully. They have to accept that there are consequences for what's happened, and they have to accept that they have to make repairs and build bridges again, either with yourself or with other members of family as well. So when it comes to change, they have to be willing. They have to be the one to take that step, and there's a lot of steps that actually need to be taken before you can even start the process of change. And a lot of it comes around to them admitting their actual liability, and also them as a person accepting how the impacts have been on everybody else, how their abuse has affected everybody else around them as well. So counselling isn't going to work. Counselling, point blank, will not work, because counselling is about feelings. Counselling is about those feelings inside. It's not about how you think. It's about what you feel. Okay? And so when you take an abuser, trust me, I've been there. When you take an abuser to therapy, they will just manipulate and coerce their counsellor in the same way that they do with yourself. So how can you change them? What can you do to change them? Okay, so once they've accepted that they want to change, and when you have their family, so this is the big thing, if the family aren't backing you up, slim chances of getting them to change. Because why would he need to change when he's got a whole family here who accepts him for who he is and thinks that his behavior is normal? That doesn't need to be changed. And that's just only going to pull him in one direction. So what you need is his family to be on your side. Okay, if his family have your back and they know that what he's doing is wrong, that's great. Okay, so if he's willing, his family know, and they're willing to back you up, then what I would suggest is then he invests to go on an abuser rehabilitation program. Okay, so what the difference is with an abuser rehabilitation program is it changes their thinking. So remember, the reason why a man is abusive is because of deep rooted, very, very deep rooted, and these have been going on for years and years and years. They've taken years to build up from very young age into grown adulthood, okay? And they've just been compounded by society and religion and culture. So these deep rooted attitudes and beliefs as to what a man should be, because of everything they've seen as a child, or because of the way they were abused, or because of the way they were brought up, this is how they think they should be. They don't see anything wrong with it. They think it's absolutely fine. So going to counselling, they're just going to manipulate and play the victim like they do in the relationship. So the abuser program changes the way they think, because that's ultimately what you want, is to change the way they think. But what happens is, as soon as they get to the stage where they realize that actually they're going to have to give up their benefits, their entitlement, because remember, when an abuser shows their power and control, there's normally a benefit attached, and the benefit is it can be they don't want you to do something, or they want you to do something, or they don't want to do something themselves. So there's several different things going on. It could be that they don't want you to go out, so they'll kick off. They don't want to go food shopping with you, so they'll kick off. They don't want to wash the dishes, so they'll kick off. So whatever it may be, there's always a benefit. So when they realize that they're not going to get that benefit anymore, they're not going to have that entitlement, it's very hard. It's very hard to let go. And so what happens is a lot of them backtrack, because they're like, no, I'm happy with my benefits, thank you. They don't want to let that go. So that's one of the things that happens. So that it's hard to get them through all those stages of change. And it's not an overnight process. It takes time. It takes years. Okay, it takes years. Because remember, if you've had a habit that's taken years and years and years to build up, you can't just switch it off overnight. It's not just going to go. It's going to take years, and there'll be relapses, and they will default back to their usual ways under pressure, or when they're angry, or in the moment. And remember, when they have been abusive to somebody, they know they can be abusive to that person. So it's very difficult for them to change, because this is a way that they've always done, the way they've always been with that person. So it's very difficult for them to then suddenly say, well, I have to change and be this person and let go of my benefits and not have any of the power and control, and she wants me to do housework. And so it's very difficult for them to then want to accept all of those things. And they need that professional help. They need to go on that abuser rehabilitation program. They cannot go to therapy, because I've told you, therapy deals with the feelings, and they will just manipulate that counsellor. Trust me, I've been there. So they need that specialized help. And there's not much you can do. There's not much you can do. You can support them. If they say they want to go on this program, you can support them. You can't force them to do that program. You can't enroll them onto that, but they have to do that themselves. Okay, that is the real test to see if they do want to change. And the majority of the time, it's a very big percentage. I don't want to give you that percentage, but it's a very, very high percentage of people, of men, who will choose to just stay as they are, because it's easy. It's the easiest choice. Why would they want to go through years of unpicking their emotions, letting those deep emotions come out that they bottled up as a child? Why would they want to go on that rigorous journey? Why would they want to go on that painful journey to heal themselves, when they can stay as they are, have their benefits, have the power, have the control? So that's what I wanted to talk about today, is changing the abusive man, and the stages you'll have to go through. There's a lot more depth to go with that, but I'll stick with that for now, because that's a long enough video as it is for today. So I would like to say, if you have been affected by anything in this video, please do reach out to somebody you know, even in your network that you trust, a friend, family member, or even myself. I will drop the usual websites and links in the description below. And also, if you want to contact myself on my Instagram channel, my Instagram page, please do. It's Connecting Women Together with a number 2. And please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel below, if this has benefited you or benefited anybody else that you know. So thank you so much for listening, and please do keep smiling at the person in the mirror. Thank you.